And then again, we might not. Who knows?
OTR 27.085 megahertz. The Old Tube Radio Network.
Okay, well, that almost works. Kind of running on the usual shoestring around here at the Old Tube Radio Network. Let me get to the control room. Things are kind of running. The Nixie tubes are back up. I think we'll have some pictures to go along with the radios. We'll have all the stuff that's supposed to be here. The Old Tube Radio Network. Hello, everybody. 27085 is where we are at live at the moment. At a little bit after 8 p.m. Pacific time on 27085. That's Channel 11. My name is Dennis, one of the many net controllers to sit into the air chair. And I don't know. We've got alternate stuff tonight. The wardrobe department, was not working. So I think they ran out to the thrift store bin and threw it all together. It looks good, though. It will have to do. Tonight, if you are around and you find yourself in front of one of those tube radios, we'll have a lot of chances for you to check that in. After the roll call, reminder, of course, you don't have to be on any list or have any radios to join us. Jump in on the video side, the audio side. It's good to see everybody up. Las Vegas, Fresno, Oklahoma, Edmonton, Alberta, Rancho Cordova, Minnesota. There's places in California. Good to have everybody back. All right, so let me stop talking. And we have the SWL check-ins above my head and trying to get my keyer to work here. Yeah, there it is. So 00. Who is 00? Are you out there? Over. That should be Mr. OBP. I'm checking to see if he is on the list yet. He'll be coming by, so we'll get 00 proxy to SWL 1 and possibly 2. SWL 3 checked in on Facebook, and I got to talk to him. Who else? SWL 5. Is he here from his appearance over at Old Radio Night? We'll be checking in with Old Radio Night and JT and all the gang in just a moment. I see you, Levon. We'll get you checked in.
Braco Tiara.
And the Braco Tiara, go ahead.
24 checking in.
And 24, right here on page 1. Joseph, I've got you checked in. You are looking good. Thanks. And before I go too far, I should have done that already. Who else? Who else needs an early check-in? Over.
53 checking in there, Dennis. Good evening.
All right, 5-3, the legend, Mr. Belair. We've got you checked in here for the 6th day of December.
GFD, thank you, Dennis. QLT for the early 7.
And 37, hello, radio. We got you checked in. Hang on one, I'll be right with you.
I'll try to anyway. I'm watching TV a little bit, but anyway, I will still try to check in at that time if I'm awake and going that way.
All right, and be aware that somebody said we're on TV right now. So if you got the right channel or one of those pictures in pictures, you'll know when you see your number come up on the screen. We'll catch you in there. We got you in right now. Thanks.
All right, then. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go 56 just for kicks. I've got you with the X and the square. Over.
Thank you, Dennis. Have a good evening.
Dennis, be sure and get 650.
And 650 we will do. Also, let's go over to the crossband. Got a couple of people on the crossband radio check-ins here. We will take them, I think, in order of appearance. I do believe I heard Cliff take a transmission, sir. KB6GFD.
Yeah, thanks. I need an early check-in, KB6GFD. This is KD6QLG SWL 135 for the check-in. And guess what? I heard John out there a second ago.
Yes, so 135, you are looking good and sounding good. We are back up on the .net with the audio stream, so join us there if you dare. And let me see if John is still mobiling or wherever he was. K6MI, sorry about that. It's going way back on that one. KB6GFD, over.
Very good. Good evening to all. Number 73 checking in at home, also on 160 meters.
All right, I was listening last night. There was a station, I kid you not, I think it was at 1811, 1.811, and it was an 8 call. It was a W8 or a K8 something, and there's a contest going on, right?
Roger, yeah. ARL 160 CW. So I'm low power, working mainly just the West Coast, East Coast after midnight, which is closer to their sunrise. And other than that, haven't worked much DX, but it's all fun.
All right, good. One more question. Are you running some type of a vertical antenna or a horizontal antenna?
It's a sloper quarter wave fed against a tower, so it has some funny SWR things. I use a tuner. So it's a quarter wave. It's like half of a dipole fed against a tower that isn't resonant.
All right, well, good luck, and the DA did it DA, and sounding good, and yeah, it was a little quiet yesterday, but I didn't have the right antenna, but I was listening in. Thanks for checking in.
23.
All right, and one more. I think I heard the golden microphonium, possibly from the mobile. We'll see what we've got. K6USY, KB6GFD.
Yeah, good evening, SWL 52 from the mobile on Christmas Tree Lane, currently on the wrong side of the road going northbound, and we are counting all the reindeer and all the little twinkle lights, and traffic is moving at 2 miles per hour. SWL 52 mobile K6USY.
Aha, it's one of the walk nights. I wonder if we'll be hearing from Michael a little bit later. Sometimes he has the portable walking down the Christmas Tree Lane, and it is very chilly. It's not even 40-something degrees out there, so hopefully you were in the toasty vehicle. Sounding good, good signal, and we've got you checked in. Enjoy the lights. Over.
Yep, roger. I see a couple people walking out here, but I don't know. I think they canceled some of the walking events this year. We'll see what happens. But yep, we are moving along here. So we'll catch you later, Dennis, and thanks for the check-in.
All right, thanks for checking in. We think we got everybody on the crossband. Very good. KB6GFD. All right, a lot of people on the crossband radio. Oh, I got one more here. Who was that? Over? I think it's probably 13. All right. Okay. Hey, you're sounding good, Mikey. We got you checked in. No problem. 1373 KB6GFD. Okay, so where did we leave off when we had fun? Levon, see what you started, Levon? SWL5, you are definitely checked in. Let me get back over to page 1. We'll be checking in with JT. I think he will still be on out there. Let's go to SWL7.
Yeah, let's give him a proxy.
Will do. I just was keeping an eye out. Sometimes he jumps in on the video side, or oh no, there he is. He's right there. He just scrolled off my screen. So I'll undo the proxy. And hello, Mr. Ed. You. We got a lot of people. We got Madison, Indiana checking in. Wild Turkey is there. 78 is in. I will get you in there as well. And if you scroll off my screen, I will make sure that I will look to find you. And also Frank D, number 1 from Yellow Springs, Ohio. Everybody looking good. So 7 is in. Let's jump over to Sangertown for 982 Dirt Dog. And maybe they are out at the Christmas Tree Lane tonight. You never know. Bill's in 2179. Hello to you. A lot of people, is it the Christmas party tonight? Ware Shoals, South Carolina. Lake Elsinore just coming in on the balcony. Let me get 78. Well, I see you there, but we'll check in again once we come through. 932 Golden Gates. Are you out by the Golden Gates? Neutral observation. Hello. It's been a while since you have been jumping in on the old Tube Radio Network. Let me get back to the list here. We did 9, or we tried 9. How about SWL 10? Looking for the jumping dolphins. Were there to be jumping dolphins? Let's go to 11 and 12. That's Dan, of course, Mr. Cornbread, and Dapper Dan. I am no contest tonight for Dapper Dan. Like I said, we went into the thrift store with with the clothing tonight. And Charlie says it's always a thrift store trying to put something on. Anyway, 11 and 12, Dan and Dapper Dan looking good on your old Tube Radio Network. SWL 13 checked in from the crossband, as you heard. Let's go out to Sangertown for SWL 14. And we'll get a proxy for 9 and 14. I have a feeling that they will be in sometime soon, perhaps before the end of the net tonight. SWL 15. Looking to see... I thought I saw 15 in earlier. He might be over at Old Radio Night. We'll be checking in with them. Hello to Rick 38 in Ohio. Good evening to you out there. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody. And 109, I see you. 109, let me get you while you're on the beacon there. Looking sharp tonight. Well, okay. You must have the low resolution. Thanks. You have the low resolution video coming in. Let's go to, I said SWL 15. I'll keep an eye out for Hans. It might be a little bit early. I know last week he had to jump in and jump out. Let's go to SW. And a lot of people I know are at, this is the beginning of the Christmas shopping and party season, so maybe we have a lot of late check-ins. Over to SWL 16. Yukon, Oklahoma. Foxtrot, Mike, Quebec. Hello, Chris. Hello to you. Hopefully we can catch you on 10 meters or some frequency here coming up on some of the ham frequencies. Put a proxy in for 16. I will do that. SWL 17. I almost feel like I'm in gridlock here. Oh, there's 15. All right. You got stuck in between Hairball and SWL 16 is there as well. All right. I must have had my chart on the wrong spot. So 15 is good. 16 is good. Oscar Zulu number 1. Who else? There it is. Dapper Dan checking in. Dapper Dan, no contest tonight. I'm not even going to try. I didn't even enter myself in the Dapper contest tonight. So Dapper Dan, 12 is going to run away with it tonight. SWL 18, Mikey checked in from Facebook with the cue cards tonight, and yes, saying it is nice to have the Nixie tubes back in at oldtuberadio.net. Let me switch the video here. I think I can do that. We also, there it is. Nope, we want that one. Yeah, also you can see that you actually checked in with the numbers here tonight. And thank you for the cue cards, by the way. What is that? You hear rumors that Espresso Trucking Company tonight? Oh, next week. Yeah, I bet. They're probably on their Christmas tour, and I'm sure Fresno is a big stop. We'll be ready for them and the mobile rig, Espresso Trucking Company, coming up next week. Let's go to SWL 20.
Oh, that ping is about how I feel. Okay, check me in. 2954, 9 and 14. 14 out of work overtime. So he probably might get in at the end, but might not. Anyway, check all these guys in, and I'm going to go back rest. We'll see you, Dennis.
All right, to do that, we are on at the .net, as you know, if you want to check us in there or listen in. Don't strain your eyes, and we've got you checked in, looking good. Also got 9 and 14. Thanks for the update on that, and the usual suspects coming up. Thanks. The Old Tube Radio Network. I am going to find the magic audio, and I think it's over at Old Radio Night. And see if they are on. I hear them out there. They're on the Galaxy Saturn Turbo. Bring up the other video. Oh, there they are. Right there, Old Radio Night, looking good. I think they're listening in. I see the D104 microphone. See if anybody's home. Yeah, he's listening in. So I'm listening to you guys. Old Radio Night 21 and all the associated Kakalaki Wasama Swamp people. Go ahead and take a transmission. We'll be listening. I think we're coming up here. Okay, I hear Harvey checked in. Boy, we're on a big delay tonight. I see 10 and 30. Here we go.
Turn you down on the stream here.
Hello, Dennis. SWL 21, South Carolina. We checking in.
UDX 183, South Carolina, checking in.
All right, we got 21. We got UDX 183, South Carolina. Good audio coming through in the Galaxy Saturn.
We'll try it again. SWL 21, South Carolina, checking in.
All right, we got you.
Jared 183, South Carolina, checking in.
All right, the replay is good. The regular is good. You guys will hear the loop around coming in about 10 seconds. Sounding good. Thanks for checking in, and we got you guys. 73 from the West Coast. Over. All right, we are back in. It takes we got about a 20 or 30 second loop through going on with the video tonight, but sounding good. 21 and UDX 183. Let's go to SWL 22. That's Tyler in Anchorage. We were not having any conditions at all. The sun went down. I didn't hear the mini grass or anything like that. What's that? Somebody said get Tyler checked in. We will do that. SWL 23. Mentioned the 23 Skidoo. He is probably out with Espresso Trucking Company. They are due to be here next week. For how long, I don't know. Probably too long. Foxman 362, I see you out there. Hello to you. And I had a question. Yeah, the World Radio. Check out Foxman 362 World Radio. What's the latest DX going on? Where are you guys talking to out there these days on the on the 362 videos? Anyway, thanks for jumping in. And hopefully the weather holds out there. SWL 24 checked in moments ago earlier. Speaking of weather, where the sun is up in VK land, it is 82 and sunny. As you guys are coming up to summer? Your full summer should be coming up in a little bit, as we're coming up to our full-time winter. Let's go to SWL 25.
Hello, Dennis. 25 checking in.
25. You sound better and better. You must be, every day you are putting that antenna up another couple inches.
I have no idea. Haven't touched it. It's too dang cold outside. But anyway, thanks, Dennis, for the check-in, and check-in 74 too as well.
25 and 74 I will. Yeah, it's not quite really good unless you've got some of those nice toasty gloves. It's not really good antenna weather. Maybe putting up a wire or something. Sounding good. Thanks for being out there as always. Have a great rest of your weekend.
All right, thank you, Dennis.
Direct net roll call, and we will have some tube radios coming up shortly. While I got you on the list, Bill, and as you probably noted, 67, we are back up on the Nixie tubes for how long, I don't know. But it appears to be working, so you can catch us there if you haven't jumped in already, if you'd like to do that. Otherwise, and there you are, 3 minutes ago, and right here, live and direct. So the 67, Bill, you're checked in. Thanks. 25 is in. Let's go to page 2 for SWL 27. And it was nice to hear Studio G coming in last week on the crossband. I think it's a little too cold out there tonight. Up the road, a piece where it might be a little bit warmer, where Gary is, the clouds sort of dissipate as you get into Galt and Lodi and Pollardville. So usually they have some better weather that way. And I wonder what's going on in the green room tonight. We will find out. No, Cornbread, that's the Nixie tubes. If you're looking at the Pixie tubes, you have the wrong video. You've got the wrong video fired up. And speaking of WWs, if you go to the www.oldtuberadio.net, I think all the W's are working tonight. I just want to let Pyroplasm know that if you get too many W's, it might not work. SWL 29, we've got a check-in there. SWL 30, I do see, Dwayne, got the X in the square. Up in Idaho, I don't know, keep listening. Keep the Robin and the Browning up. Just might have some stuff going on. Private Thor, hello, 724. And all our friends out in, thought I saw Alberta on the W's out there tonight on the .net. Greenville, Tennessee, hello to you, just jumping in. Speaking of Tennessee, SWL 31. Did I miss Robert and Teresa early on? Let me get them proxied and I will check to see if they were in. Hello, Gary. What's going on? 46. Well, you guys tied us. That's about what we had here. So it ain't no better being up the road, I guess. Hot chocolate and cinnamon rolls. I am there. I can smell the cinnamon rolls. They were baking them earlier on. So I will not linger in the air chair too late tonight, lest the cinnamon rolls and the hot chocolate go away. From the easy chair, from the big chair tonight, hopefully with some hot chocolate and cinnamon rolls. SWL 32. Hello, Rob. Yeah, you've been banned from the big air chair for more than a couple of minutes. I did read your update about what was going on. I did not get on the radio today. I had all sorts of intentions to get on 10 and maybe drop you a line, and there were all sorts of things going on that I had to complete, and then came in here. So maybe tomorrow, might have a little bit better chance tomorrow to get on 10, but it sounded like you said, you were here in California and some of the other stations, so could be good. Could be good on 10 meter AM, FM. Well, maybe not FM, but some sideband as well. So 32. Like I said, I hope they're not beating you up, but you know the drill. So it sounds like you're going the right way. Thanks for jumping in. And yeah, I've got, what have I got? I don't know. I'm putting it on the list again tomorrow. I think there's a Christmas tree that needs to get decorated and some other stuff going on, but I will have a lot less going on. SWL 33 is myself, and anybody here in the studio will get checked in. SWL 34. Now, Jimmy is also ham, Jimmy Fiedler, and there is a video. If you watch S9, if you watch Greg, he's on in his shack down in Southern California near Big Bear talking with Jimmy on 10 meters. So I kind of put in a request that maybe we'll see if we can check in, and Jim's in Illinois, so in Nineland, which is always a good hop to this way. So if I get him, I'll see if I can record it and give a playback. You might want to say hello to everybody. Let's go to, got you checked in 34. SWL 35, I hope that someone informed 35, Mr. Bill, that we are back up on the .net. That, of course, is Red Monkey Communications. They are decked out for Christmas shopping out on the trailer. And hello, Roy, checking in here in Virginia, in Foreland. EIB. Don't tell me that's not a vanity call. Or did that just happen? EIB, looking good, Roy. Maybe we can catch you out there in Foreland. Let's go over to SWL 36. And that's Kenny. Kenny was in UDX 111, right there. 36 checking in. We're doing good. We're doing pretty good on page 2 all of a sudden. The SDR OTR simulcast. You've got to be careful to turn off, and I have that simulcast when I re-up. You hear the Echolink dual audio. So there is a way. I think I made it so when you log in, it's supposed to shut the audio down. It's on demand. It makes it a lot easier. All right, there's the official for 36, SWL 37. And 433 Zulu. My Quanta clock is behind the screen, right over by Chet, and I can't. Oh, it's 434 is what mine says. So I guess that's about right. I was listening to WWV the other night, and I think I'm probably about 20 seconds off, and I don't know if it's behind or ahead. Of course, Chris was in earlier. He's in the movie room. So 37 is checked in. SWL 38. And Mark's got the 160 CW on. What's John's call? He checked in. If you heard the crossband, and John is a big, like you heard, a big 160 guy. He's K6, Kilowatt 6 Mike India, K6MI from here in the Central Valley. And then the guy I heard last night was a W8 call, and he was just going, yeah, No, that's not it either. I was going to see if he was still in my call database. W8KA, I think that it was Whiskey 8 Kilo Alpha, and he was putting in a big signal here last night on 160, and that was listening on the 40-meter antenna. Let's go to SWL 39. Listen in for that SWL 40. I know Larry's out there somewhere. He was out there. He's working the room somewhere. I got an X. If you're listening, Larry, and you can't get to the radio, I just put an X in the square. SWL 41. Checking in. Of course, the Orange County REACT. It's good to see that there's actually some REACT stations still on. Channel 9 is still your emergency communication channel, and maybe they do stuff on 17 and 19 as well. Out there in the Hudson Valley of New York. Good evening, and thank you, 507. SWL 42.
42 and the crew, we're all here and get accounted for. Appreciate this. Good evening to everybody.
Indeed, and let's see. I'll check in when Dennis checks in. We'll take a quick talk about, and I subscribed because it was good on the video replay, which is quite interesting. So some of the radios that you actually hear on OTR, you can get a perspective, and this is super cool, from the operator, not from us listening. You can be in the operator's chair, and we'll talk about getting the link to that in just a little bit, so don't go away.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
All right, I was listening, and it's like, that is the other end of the radio, and you can see what they're talking about, blinking eyes. So get your pen and paper ready, because we're going to have a link for you coming up. Let's go to SWL 43. SWL 44. Got a proxy in for 360. Also get Paul and Kelly checked in, SWL 45 up there. They might be in the clouds. I saw the photo up at 4,500 feet at Meadow Lakes looking down into the clouds where the weather is nice. I'm trying not to break the microphone here, so hopefully you guys got some good weather there. Let's go to SWL 46. I don't know what Arlen is doing in Wisconsin. He might be out there. Echo Link. We will have SWL 47. Are you walking the walk tonight? He might come in. If it's a walk night on Christmas Tree Lane. It's a little bit chilly, though. I'll give Mikey a proxy check-in. Let's go to SWL 48. I think I saw Sam on Facebook. Sammy, we'll get you checked in. Out there in Madera Town. And Foxman. On the 520 SE, that was one of the really cool, back in the hybrid days when Yaesu was doing the FT101s and the 102s, my favorite radio, the 102. Kenwood was doing the 520s and the 530s and the 820s and the 830s. Now the 520 might be all tube, I don't know, but they're hybrid radios. So that's good classic audio. They've got great receivers on them, so hopefully you'll get the 520 SE up and running. Heard Germany at 11 p.m. on 40. Yeah, so you guys are in a good position. It's very difficult. You got to have a decent antenna to hear the what are they, Delta something, to hear their calls up and running. So good deal. Well, we will check out the 362 videos. Let's go to SWL 49. Somebody said, Brian and Sweet Country Mama, get them checked in. A lot of people out. The start of your company Christmas party, or the first of many of your friends and the eggnog. Let's go to Battle Creek, Michigan, SWL 50. And I know I saw UDX 36 in there. Gerald was in moments ago. Scrolling past my screen. Anyway, Gerald, we got the X in the square. Can you read my writing? It was still not correct. Okay, yeah, it is. 10-13. All right, a little football action going on. There's the X in the square. SWL 51. Talked to Dave a little bit earlier on the test channel. Let's see if he's out there now.
I am out here now. SWL 51 checking in.
And it's still super duper quiet. No mini grass. I'll probably jinx it. I don't know if we're going to have meteor scatter or whatever. There's supposed to be also some, what is the coronal mass ejection? I'll give you the A and the K index from QRZ. The A is at 16, the K is at 2, so that's not too bad. SFI is 200. That's still up there. Sunspot numbers at 129. There's some people saying that they thought they saw some negative polarity, which is either an indication that we might be already jumping out of cycle 25, or, and this is what I hope, because it happened in 2000, that we might have a double peak on 25. Wouldn't that be fun? You are sounding good, Mr. Dave. We got you checked in.
Thank you, Dennis. Have a great evening.
LaGrange, the Cook brothers checking in out there in North Carolina. Thanks for joining us. The Old Tube Radio Network here in California. Something we've been doing. Believe it or not, we have been doing this net since the mid-1980s, and it wasn't until the 21st century that we figured out how to stream it and do the video and all that. But the base of this net, checking in tube radios and encouraging people to get on the air, and especially if they have a tube radio to pull it out and plug it in and put the coax on it. And you'll be hearing some of those radios coming up later tonight. Plus, it gives those who weren't around at the time and tune in their 11-meter radio now and think, wow, what a cacophony of stuff. And they hear this is how it used to sound. Back when the tube radios were brand new, it was a little more cordial, perhaps. Well, anyway, you'll hear what it sounds like. Let's go over to SWL 52. And Aaron checked in. You heard him live here on the Crossband. SWL 53, Mr. Belair with an early check-in. Got a proxy check-in for SWL 54. That takes me up the hill to SWL 55. SWL 56. Checked in early just for kicks. The X is already in the square. Let's mark it again. SWL 57. Mr. BDA out in central Kentucky. SWL 58, I get to put an X in the square for Jeremy because he was actually in town, in the Central Valley for a quick hit and run. But that will get us into an X in the square, no problem. Let's go to SWL 59, the inimitable, I don't even know if that's a word, Uncle Hairball. Checking in. Checkity check. Let me do the check thing and it'll change above my head. Checked in. How do you know you're checked in? It says. The OTR database never lies. Apparently that's going in to some database somewhere. So we could go back 15 years when we started doing this, and you could see, we actually did check in on the radios and stuff. At least that's what I'm told. Let's go to SWL 60.
Hey.
Hello, radio.
Oh, good God almighty, scared me there for a minute there. Woke me up. Dennis, SWL 60 checking in. Evening time to all the fellas out there on the band. No football tonight.
There's some game going on. Somebody was watching. It might be some other stuff. It scrolled past my screen. It was like 10 to 13. So are the next game, you might not know this, but I'll throw it out there. Are the next games coming up? Would they be bowl games or final two bowl games or something like that over?
Oh, well, we haven't looked into that, Dennis. And as far as the other game was, it was a basketball game. We lost, the Fresno State basketball team. But no, I ain't looked that far yet. But no game tonight. And like I said, SWL 60, checking in.
Checking in and checked in. The X's in the squares. The Bulldogs back in Stellan's Arena. We used to broadcast some of those. I kid you not. I used to crawl into the bleachers with the video cables amidst all the sticky gum and soda pop, and we put those on there back in the Boyd Grant days out in Grant's Tomb. When was that? The mid-'80s? Long time ago. All right, thanks for checking in.
Welcome.
SWL 61, way out there over. We were talking about Dino last night on the Ditch Bank sideband then, about how he always has a good signal here in the Midtown. 61, if you're listening, I'll get you checked in, but stop by anytime and give us an audio confirmation. And it's the Big Ten Championship. All right, just finished. Indiana 13, Ohio State 10. Thanks there, Dave. SWL 62. Who's got the 3CX 1200? I could use that. Shh, not here, not on 11 meters, but you know where. Thank you, Bill. SWL 63. SWL 64. Shortwave listener 65. Right here on the in the Central Valley on the horizontal side, no doubt, SWL 66. Yes, we're on your column. We're on the row. SWL 61, go ahead, over. Go ahead, Dino.
Thank you, 61 checking in. I just got home.
All right, we were talking about you last night on the Ditchbank Sideband, about how good that radio always sounds from far away. Got you checked in.
Only got 4 watts on the other one.
Yeah, 4 watts. What do they say on CB land? 4 watts swinging to infinity. Sounding good. We got you checked in.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
All right, well, I didn't even have to move my mouse. We were on the 60s. If those playing the home game, got the magnetic token. If you're playing the mobile game, it's got the little magnetic thing. You move it around the board. Don't be driving. Like talking to your cell phone. You're playing the home game for the Old Tube Radio Network. Make sure you're the passenger. SWL 67, Bill from Canby checked in already. Got the X and the square over to SWL 68. Yeah, we're hoping we get some conditions tonight so that Dwayne can key up his T123 or the Browning or the 123B or whatever else he's got, and you will hear it live in the Central Valley, because we got a good pipeline when we get the short E-skip. So Dwayne's got him warmed up. He's waiting. Let's go to SWL 69. Kenny checked in early from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And like I told Kenny, I said, we're enjoying that Mustang. We're enjoying listening to that Mustang, too. Radio, baby. Maybe we will hear it tonight. You never know. Over to SWL 70. SWL 71, Stan is in. Stan didn't mention if he's like contesting on the 160, if he's a 160 contester guy. I don't know. So, Stan, we got you in. Glad we get the Nixie tubes back up. Who just came in? They're pointing up to the balcony. I'm supposed to say hello to. Show your card. They give you a little placard when you walk in. It's like, we're Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, we'll be talking to Reno Sparks, and the Carolinas coming up on the Echo Link. So hello to Las Vegas. Let's go to SWL 72. SWL 73, you heard John checking in from the mobile, from the control room. He's working the 160-meter contest. SWL 74's got the proxy check-in over to SWL 75. 572s. Who had the 572s? The Yaesu, the 2100, I think, around the 572s. And always a good tube. Runs hot, though. Man, that amp would run hot. Let's go to SWL 76. Red Fox 1 out in Johnson, Rhode Island. Updating my screens. Over to SWL 77.
77/1017 checking in. Thank you, Dennis, for all your hard work and due diligence. And I hope everybody's having a great weekend and looking forward to checking this little beauty in.
Yeah, it sounds good. Now, will that also get, and I call it like a reverse check-in from the operator side up on the, and I'm not sure if it's a YouTube link or a TikTok link, but I like seeing the radios checking in from the operator side. Over.
Yeah, we do little short 1 to 2 minute, sometimes 3-minute snippets on every check-in with oldtuberadio.net and Old Tube Radio Network. And the YouTube site and TikTok site is called Radio Lifer, 2 words, and 4 R's on the end of Lifer. And you can go see from the operator side and see the handiwork of Harvey and myself and my thumbs and fingers pretty much worn the fingerprints off, getting the chassis back up to new again.
All right, good deal, and you'll have one for us, and we'll find out the mystery radio. Although it's not much of a mystery to me. I think I know what you're talking on, but we'll find out more about it, and we'll hear it from this end, and then there will be a video, as Dennis mentioned, from his end. What happens from the driver's seat? It's like one of those POV at the driver's seat over at Radio Lifer, LIFE, Romeo. All right, good deal. We'll be back in a bit.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go to SWL 78 in Wildemar, checking in. At least you guys aren't in the big clouds. You are probably having really good, usual, typical late fall, early winter weather in Wild Wildemar. I've got you checked in, Richard. In the contest somewhere. SWL 79.
79, checking in.
Sounding good. Are you on the glow-in-the-dark radio?
Yes, sir, I sure am.
Man, that sounds good. That's like a daily driver. You got to get the crystal. What's the magic channel? Is it going to be 21?
This one's on channel C for 11, and actually I do need to get a couple crystals for it. But I dedicated it strictly for OTR.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll have to check in and see, rattle the crystal box and see if we can't find I don't even know what the frequency is. 195, 205, 225, something like that. 215 for that thing.
Break OTR.
All right, thanks Philip, for checking in. You're sounding good. And the break OTR, go ahead, over.
I know I'm a little late, Dennis. I was just wondering if I can get a late check in 93 STD.
Well, let's see. You're late for last week, early for this week. So we'll combine the two and put the X in the square over on page 4 for SWL 93. You are sounding good, over.
I appreciate it. Last minute shopping.
Well, that's what we fear. A lot of last-minute shopping. Places are staying open. It's the beginning of my company is having a Christmas party. My wife's company is having a Christmas party. My buddy's having a Christmas party. So we are glad to get any check-ins that we can get, including yours and the X's in the square.
I appreciate it. Last weekend was Thanksgiving. So thank you, and everybody have a good rest of the Saturday night.
Indeed. Thanks for stopping by. Let's go to SWL 80. Page 4, SWL 81. Shortwave listener 82.
Hey, 82's out here. Checking in from the ditch banks of Viola.
Sounding good. Are you hearing anything, any far out skip at all? It just seems really quiet here.
Not here. On some other channels and frequencies, I have heard some.
Well, we'll see what we can get. Hello, Peter. 428 and the Squamish Boys waving. They always do a good job when the skip is in. On Fridays, on sideband, the Ditchbank, see how I segged into that? On the Ditchbank's sideband net, you will hear the voice, net control voice of Ron, SWL 82. And there's a check-in there and a spot for visitors, and everybody is always welcome. We had a good turnout last night, and thanks for checking in, Ron.
Continue on with this fabulous old tube radio net.
Yeah, we're looking forward to checking in some radios. They're giving me the speed up thing. So we want to make sure we get the full hour for the radios coming up, which we will do. SWL 83. Where are we going for? That's way out there in Sylvania, Ohio. JZ. Henry used to do, what did Art Bell used to have? Well, wait a minute, Henry, he had an 8K Ultra, I think. Stuffed behind the Yaesu FT9000. 84, 86, 87, and 88, all in the shortwave listener mode. Getting them proxied in. That would be respectively Cheerios Kid, Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. Let's go to SWL 89. SWL 90, we've got a proxy check in. SWL 91, Felix was in earlier, all the way from Bronx. Got you checked in. If you're watching the replay or listening, got you checked in, Felix. SWL 92. As you just heard moments ago, SWL 93 stopping by, Leo STD. We got the X in the square. Over to SWL 94. SWL 95. Then we go to SWL 96. It's Kurt in Kokomo. SWL 97. What's happening in Boston tonight? SWL 98. Get Tracy checked in. I was looking at the Ditch Bank's Facebook page, and I think the AI version of Net Control looks better. I may have to figure out a way to do some AI stuff here. I always like the way they always give Ron and I a nice little promotional page on the Facebook. And if you don't get a chuckle, you are not looking at the right thing. That's all I can say. Let's go to SWL 99. And we will jump over to, let me see if I get it fired up here, jump over to the Echo Link, going to SWL 100, KD4BAO, KB6GFD, over. See if Tony from McClellanville, South Carolina is up on the link tonight.
Hey, good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWL 100. Good to hear you. Back in Net Control, KD4BAO.
As they say, it's good to be heard. I hope your weather is cooperating. Thanks for getting the activation ready. That, of course, is the TOTA tubes on the air. They will be glowing shortly. Thanks, Tony, 73, KB6GFD. And while we are here on the Echo Link, let's head over, see what Al is doing. Albert up there in the Sparks Reno area. KI6CBA, KB6GFD, take a transmission over. They've got to be getting some snow up there or something. We'll find out. Might be having some issues on the key. Well, I'll move on. I know he's listening, so we'll be coming in shortly. We're in the triple digits. The weather people, they like to say that here in Fresno during the summer. It's going to be in the triple digits. Well, we are in the triple digits now, SWL 102. Boom, just like that. All I have to say is 102, and it shows up on my screen. Scranton, Arkansas, of course, checking in. That little break on when you check in the Echo Link. It's kind of like on TV when the network breaks for the local station's identification. I know that because, all right, you get me talking about TV. I'll try and keep it 25 words or less. It's like jumping in jump rope because you're sitting in your master control and you're running the network. And you either know, one, that you have a sheet in front of you that says at this time, and when they say this time, it'll be 8:42 and 17 seconds. We're going to throw it to you for a 33-second break or a 64-second break, and that's all you're going to get. And so you're kind of waiting, and in the old days, you had to pre-roll your tape. So you'd have to count down, 13, 12, 11, 10 to hit the time. And now it's a service. Everything just comes up, so it's a little bit easier. And now nobody does it. It's all automated. It's very rare that a person's going to be sitting in there. And that's why there's more space now, because the automation sometimes does not do a good job as the human being that would be behind the thing. Sometimes you were rolling your break off of, like the jingle singers. When you hear the jingle singers say, Old Tube Radio Network, then you roll your spot and you do your thing. So, yeah, that was my training. That's why I almost do a good job, because that's what we used to do. 102, as always, looking good and sounding good, and we've got you checked in. The Old Tube Radio Network. With too much information going on, but this is a lot like that. I would never hit the clock on time. I would be fired the first day, but it's sort of the same thing. Let's go to SWL 103, Joey. Up there in South Carolina. And you got to be quick, and you never get that time back. If you miss it, you've missed it. You can get that little, you hear nothing. When you're in the other room, and you see nothing on the air, and you realize, oh, guess what? Let's go to SWL 109. Try that checked in early on the Old Tube Radio Network. And Dwayne Miller getting flashback. Do you have the dreams? You know, you have the dreams like the door to the control room is closed and the record, you can see it, the record is running out, or there's no audio or something. Yeah, we all have those. We all have those nightmares. Let's go to SWL 110. 147. I'm gonna look. You probably scrolled by. So Neil, I see it. Let me go do it right now since you're on my screen before it goes away. You will see 147's official. What is going on? Can you tell us again? See, there it is. I missed the cue. That's why it's so hard. I missed the cue for 147. That's like the announcer, the advertiser. The advertiser coming in and say, you missed it. You missed the break for the tire guy. There's a 103, and we've got 40. So let's go to 103. I'll backtrack for that. SWL 103, Joey out there in South Carolina, Tango Romeo 21 X-Ray. Thank you, Joey. And then SWL 40 on the crossband, who is probably listening to the live stream. We've got the official X in the score. I checked you in, Larry, because I knew you were there, but I thought, maybe there was some wackiness going on out your door that you had to take care of, but I see you're back.
Yes, I am back and checking in on the 11 Metros band.
Okay, well, you're a little too far to get on the roof and see Christmas Tree Lane. I don't think there's any fireworks going on at the stadium, so all is good.
Well, the homeless, the fires from the homeless, or can't even say, the homeless have clogged up the airwaves with the fires. They're burning plastic all over, and what would it wouldn't be smog, it wouldn't be fog. What would that be?
It would be the burning of pallets with probably goo on them and maybe some plastic cellophane and styrofoam and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the fish market is a good source of styrofoam. That's probably what's burning.
The AQI in Fresno is terrible. I was down in Southern California, where the air used to be bad. When I grew up 50 years ago, the air was horrible. They had the stage 3 alerts all the time. And now the air is better in Los Angeles than it is here in the Central Valley. We are constantly close to AQI of 100. That's during the day. It should not be like that, but it's just all the fog and junk here in the valley. So, all right, well, stay safe. You're looking good, and we've got you checked in. All right, I want to get the roll call going. 109 was in, 110. SWL 111, Robert said, hey, I'm glad the stream is back up at oldtuberadio.net, and he checked in. Let's see if Wayne, if Rickshaw is listening. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
There he is, X in the square, little dot is good, sounding good as always, and if I find what I did with my pen, I will check you in. Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Dennis.
Putting X's in the squares. This tab is using extra resource and your performance, you have to make it inactive. Ham radio, DX launcher, okay, fix this tab. They want me to fix a tab, okay. They're talking to me. Let's see. Somebody snuck in. They're pointing to check my list. Okay, I will do. Oh, it's Frank 007 Extreme CB. For his check-in, he's in the RV in Concordia, Missouri. That is another good location for 10 meters, for 40 meters. They've got something for me. Hold on. 007 Extreme CB. Is it? Oh, yeah. This is the large version for covering up your net control. This isn't too bad. Is this it? Here we go. The Mud Duck, and on the what do they say in coins? On the Obverse, there you go. From extremecb.com. Get yours. It says I can even make it louder. Maybe not for here, but get yours at wherever fine garments are sold. So hope you are staying warm in Missouri and having a good time. Directed net roll call. I got to get through this. Hey, Glenn, out in Zero Land. Or is it 3 Land? I don't know. There's 2 calls associated with that. And Art is listening in from New Jersey. Thanks for staying up late. You have to wait until midnight, right, to jump into the radio room. Let's go to SWL 128. And that's John in Fairfax, Virginia. I think he knows, I hope he knows that our .net is back up. Hey, Joey made it. All right, thanks, Joey. We're still there, so I'll give him a proxy check-in. Don't see him on there at the moment. That's for 128. Let's go to SWL 131. SWL 133. Shortwave listener 135. Mr. Green Arrow checked in on the crossband a while back. Hambone saying hello, radio. An 11-meter end-fed monoband from PAR end-fed. Do they do 11-meter stuff? I guess they could. I mean, it's just let's add a couple more inches to that 10-meter thing that we did, or let's cut off some of the 12-meter ones. Might as well make the 11-meter. Vibroplex. End-feds is owned by Vibroplex, huh? They must have been close, like down the street, because that Vibroplex seems like a strange company to be owning antennas, but maybe not. Let's go to SWL 137. Got a proxy for 137. SWL 145, Tony. Listening. I'll get Tony checked in. He sounded pretty good on the Ditchbanks sideband net last night, and I think he left me some questions, so I will check into that here right at the end of the net before we jump into the tube radios if we have some questions. And it looks like we do. SWL 147, Neil, we got you in with no problem. See the weather, unpredictable. He's predicting that the conditions are going to be unpredictable. Well, that's kind of a prediction.
I predict the same thing.
Now that's unpredictable. And yeah, loads up on 10, loads up on 12, loads up on 17. Kind of like, what's the one that does that? It's like an NFED, is the IMAX 2000. It'll do that. My Starduster will do that. I had a 12-meter contact on the good old Starduster antenna. Probably not the best way to do it, but it works. Let's go to SWL 188, Bobby.
Good evening, Tom Dennis. 188 checking in. Happy holidays.
And likewise, you're sounding good. Thanks for being patient. You knew we were going to get there eventually, so the X is in the square over.
10-4. Yeah, I was watching it on YouTube, following along, and then I come running out here just so I can do a quick check-in.
Yeah, that's why we build in the delay. It's like, okay, I've got 10 seconds. He's coming to my number. The Mud Duck. is here, and you are sounding good. Over.
10-4, either time call.
Hey, that sounds like me there, Dennis.
Well, it is, I don't know who, the courtesy of the Mud Duck here, it sort of beacons out to all of us who aspire to be big strappers.
I'm still aspiring.
I know, you and me both. Let's go up to SWL 195 in Course Gold.
95 checking in, Dennis. We're still trying up here.
All right, still trying, but doing a good job. Yeah, we're socked in down in the valley. It is a typical winter. This is a typical winter for the Central Valley. We haven't had one of these in a long, long time. So that's why everyone's kind of walking around depressed, because the sun never comes out. Anyway, you're looking good, and thank you for checking in. All right, thanks. Who jumped in? Going to say, Ontario CB Club, thanks for joining us here tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network. The radios are on their way shortly. And then we went up to SWL 226. I'm going to get a check-in for Mr. Shockwave and all the people up there on the hill. And what are we doing? Oh, we're going to go to the quick questions. I have not even looked. I don't know what they are, so hopefully I can read them in a way that makes sense. So from 147, these are the ones that show up on the Friday morning net that I cannot check into anymore, thanks to my schedule. Number one, radio question one, multiple choice. According to the Wilderness Protocol recommended by the ARRL, which of the following, I didn't know there was such a thing. According to the Wilderness Protocol recommended by the ARRL, which of the following frequencies is not one of the recommended emergency frequencies? Oh, man. Okay, so we've got four choices. 14652, that's 2 meters. That's the simplex frequency. Then 52525, that's on 6 meters. That might be a simplex frequency. 446.0, I thought that was a simplex frequency up on 440. And then, I don't know my 30-meter band, but this is 10.125. So there you go. The Wilderness Protocol from the ARRL, which of those frequencies, and I'll give them again, is not one of the recommended emergency frequencies? Is it 146.520 on 2 meters? Is it 52.525 on 6 meters? Is it 446.0 megahertz? These are all megahertz on 440 or 77 centimeters, or is it 10.125 on the 30-meter band?
30-meter band.
Yeah, 30-meter. William says 30-meter. I'm almost going to go with that because I'm just not familiar with that. I know that's CW only, so I don't know. Obviously, they're going to have a Wilderness Protocol. And the answer is, we got some smart people out there, 10.125. Answer, 10.125 is a digital mode. The Wilderness Protocol uses national simplex calling frequencies to facilitate emergency communications in remote areas. Okay. Yeah, no voice on 30 meters. All right, we didn't fool anybody on that one. So I wonder if that's a test question, like in one of the general tests or extra tests. I don't remember that, but okay, one more. This is not a multiple choice. What is the 3-3-3 rule? Question mark. What is the 3-3-3 rule? Don't you wish there was a 1-1-1-1-1-1 rule for 11 meters? I have still not heard this station, but I keep seeing the posts about the 1-1-1. All right. The question is, what is the 3-3-3, the 333 rule? And the answer, I'll just read it because I don't know. Answer, the 3-3-3 rule is a simple, easy to remember emergency communication plan, where, this is good to know, where operators listen and then transmit for 3 minutes every 3 hours on channel 3. What is channel 3? This helps to conserve battery life in emergency situations. So listen and transmit for 3 minutes every 3 hours on Channel 3. Well, what the heck is Channel 3? I mean, I know what it is on CB radio, but that's so, okay. We'll have to go into what is Channel 3.
But when do we put down the beer?
Oh, on CB, FRS, GMRS? I don't know. MURS? Maybe it's like the generic. Okay, I buy that. The generic Channel 3. All right, that's enough of that. We'll be back in a minute. I will switch over to the Tube radios, and there are some out there tonight. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. We're at 27085 live right here tonight. There's a video going on that'll probably be going on forever if you want to watch it. And streaming, hey, the 6L6 is glowing at oldtuberadio.net. Back in a bit. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to reset the video. So stand by. Hopefully we won't have the wacky dual audio. I'll try to not do that. So hang on. But since we're streaming, I want to reset to the Tube radios. Stand by. That part is good, so I'm going to reset the audio. And reset audio number 2. See, this doesn't affect the video. It only affects the .net site. And for some reason, everything takes a long time to fire up, so we'll see what we can do. Really taking a long time here tonight. My reset is taking longer than I thought. I'll be back. Yeah, see, the audio does not want to come back. I don't know if it's my stuff, so I may just have to go with it. We'll do it one more time, and then it'll pop in the middle of nowhere. That is crazy. All right. We'll just have to continue on here. Clear the rigs. And play the audio. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This stuff never works the way you want it to. And the jingle singer said,
"You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, I just reset the Old Tube Radio Network beacon. So if you're watching on the audio, the Nixie audio tubes, it should be working. Let me go back to the control room here, and you can see what I have to do to make this work. Let's go there. And it looks like that's coming up. So the tube is lit. That's always a good indication that maybe something will be happening. I just got to wait for the audio to catch up. So we will hear that when it starts double audioing everything. But the tube is lit, so hopefully those that were joining us at oldtuberadio.net are still there. In the meantime, let me say that this is the Old Tube Radio Network. We are standing by, listening for any and all check-ins. Over. That has an ominous portent to it. All right, my audio just came up, so let me do some audio resetting. And there you heard your replay. That has an ominous portent. And here's another replay. All right, my audio just came up, so let me get rid of that audio resetting. There you heard your replay. Stopping that, and the Q-Bird. This is your Old Tube Radio Network. Go ahead, over. Uh-oh. That's not good. Well, the carrier was there, but the audio, the humanoid audio was not. So take another transmission and look at whatever wiggle meters or dials that you might have.
Looks like it's working now. So yeah, it may be something loose here in my microphone jack. How about now?
Butamus, nice, clear, clean audio, over.
Okay, yeah, so I'm on my Super MC5 and amplified D104 microphone that Harvey made me an adapter plug for, so it's a Cobra 4 pin. That way I can quickly switch around anything that I want to. And working a lot of hours here lately out in Visalia, so just got back in and wanted to check in, and I figured I'd try and shoot it over there with the old General Radio telephone tonight.
Good deal. All right, we'll get you checked in, and we will also get number 9 checked in. Well, my database that was working so nicely before the net here is ceasing to work, but I do have a picture that I want to get to, so I will pull that up for all to see by doing it that way. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, and things are loud. So yeah, thanks for jumping into the air chair and bringing that. One of the faves here, it's the General Radio Telephone's MC5, and there's the shot. Go ahead and give us a transmission.
Check in Dirt Dog there. He had his first marching band thing today, the Sanger Parade, 77th annual, I believe. So he's in 7th grade and did his first marching band. So check him in. And like I said, just a long day today. So I'm glad my old General Radio telephone quit fooling around with me and started making that transmission. My microphone wasn't working. He still got a hold of me out here. Back to you.
Well, let me get the close-up, because there's the switch, the tone switch, and it does allow your audio to come through when you've got the tone signal going. 1963, late 1962. This was their Christmas. This is a good radio. If you check any of the December big CB catalogs in 1962, General Radio Telephone spent a lot of money putting half-page ads for this very radio with the tunable receive and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channel transmitter. The last one with the Q-Bird, as 23 calls it, or the tone signal alert, but still as usual, some very, very good audio coming out of that thing. So not a problem. Take another transmission, and I'll do the zero beat. See where the frequency's working on that thing.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe it dropped back down there. One notable thing is that this radio does have the gold-plated spaghetti-sized rack handles, so that's a little bit different. Caught my eye, caught Harvey's eye as well, and overall a nice radio in good condition. Didn't take much fooling around to get this one back up and running on the OTR this evening.
And that's a good thing, because we needed a couple of radios to populate the list here tonight. I know, well, like you said, you're doing extra at the Salty Mines, and we've got a lot of people that are getting their shopping done, and a lot of Christmas parties happen on the weekend, so we are glad that anybody can jump in at any time. Yeah, the FCC got funny about the Q-Bird, and I think the deal with that, and we've mentioned this before, and Williams got it pegged. It was built into the radio because Courier, I think, and E.F. Johnson and some of the other ones had devices doing a similar thing, but they were external to the radio. You had to buy the device and hook it up. In the general radio telephone, it was in the radio. There was a switch that you could probably, make it stay on and maybe do some malicious interference. And that's the only reason I can think that the FCC made them take it out and put in the bullhorn, and I don't think they ever decided to put it in an extra side case that you could plug in. Sounds good. Zero beat is at 270856, so it's a little bit on the high side frequency, but certainly within range for just about every receiver. So one more transmission, then I'll let you get back and put everything away and turn on the lights and all the stuff you have to do, and we will be here for a while if you've got another radio to check in, but appreciate you, the mad dash to the radio desk. Back to you, radio number 1, the General Radio Telephone Master Control number 5.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I have to work another 12-hour day tomorrow, so there won't be another one this evening, but I do appreciate the time for my General Radio Telephone Super MC5, and I'd also like to say hi to all the SWLs out there. Have a great weekend.
Will do. Appreciate you jumping in. That is a 7-tube. I know, I thought there were more. It's a 7-tube, one of the 7-tube radios, all 6-volt tubes, by the way. 6BQ5, 6EM8. It'll run 6-volt, 12-volt, or 115-volt AC. Early enough, after about 1964, the mobile radios stopped putting in the 6-volt option, but obviously with all those 6-volt tubes, it should be good. And if you go to oldtuberadio.com, it says there's a General MC5 1962 PDF schematic. The price in 1963, your Christmas price for December of 1963 was $200 plus tax. $199.95. So that would look good under the tree. Thanks for bringing it by, the Old Tube Radio Network. Are the Jingle Singers ready? We are looking for radio number 2. But I didn't want to cut them off. All right. Do your thing, Jingle Singers, and we'll be right back. OTR standing by.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
And who was it said that was a privacy tone? I don't know how private it was, but it was made that you could turn your squelch up and get rid of the noise, and then that tone would come through. And I don't think it triggered the other radio, but you can hear it's a full 100% modulation. I just think the FCC didn't like having they were getting misused, and they didn't like having them built in with a switch that you could lock to tog. Listening for radio number 2, or any and all check-ins here on the Old Tube Radio Network. 60. All right. Making me work tonight, and I don't mind at all. Jump in with what you got. We'll get it, hopefully get it checked in here. Over.
Well, Dennis, I hope we do get something out of this radio. We haven't checked it in a couple of weeks, and a little bit worried about it. It's been giving me some kind of trouble. Anyway, Dennis, this is the Messenger 2, 10 tubes. 10 tubes and a few little items on it. If you can find it there, and we'll talk about it.
All right, I have our favorite image here. We'll stuff it in to the Wayback Machine. We will replace the general radio telephone and submit that for your video pleasure. And it should look something like, if I can get the page, there it is. No, OTR Live. Let's submit it once again. Well, I take another transmission. I will eventually get it in there. Over.
Okay, Dennis, from Waseca, Minnesota, the Johnson Messenger 2, 10 tubes, volume, squelch, channel selector, and a little channel dialer with the letters on it. No modulation light.
Although, we know when Harvey mentioned there's something in the inside that you might be able to bring out. There's something that's detecting the B+ or whatever's happening with the audio. There is the Johnson Messenger, Messenger TWO. And a lot of the early radios, the radios that were in the $150 to $200 range, were on the simple side. That's simple to say we're keeping all the controls, or only putting the controls that are necessary, that you need. And this one has a volume, squelch, and a tunable receive, and a transmit channel. And that's basically it. So hard to get confused on this radio, except for that volume squelch thing they have.
That's right, Dennis. This is my boat anchor. Doggone it, it's been lit here for a couple hours. I had trouble earlier with it the last couple of weeks. I didn't know what it was, and still don't. I'm glad it's transmitting. It's receiving well, and the stations are coming in clear. This would be one definitely a person would like to own, a good, dependable radio. This one is operating right now with the D104. It's preamplified.
You've got it set well. We're showing it with the hardwired, and that wasn't a static microphone. I think actually came with it, or there was probably different microphones they had, but that's one of the stock microphones that you could get with it. I think they call it the ice cream cone microphone. E.F. Johnson Company, 1959. They were out there in Waseca, Minnesota at 2815 2nd Avenue. I think before that, they were at 7070 10th Street, but it was all in Waseca, Minnesota. Edgar F., there's your E.F. Edgar F. Johnson started his mail-order parts business in 1923 in his Wisconsin bedroom. He moved into manufacturing parts, then into making whole radios. He gained a reputation for making sturdy, reliable gear which could take commercial two-way use. And the plant, their plant in Waseca, Minnesota, was a large plant, hundreds of people working there. It says in 1997, E.F. Johnson was purchased by software manufacturer Transcript International. In 2005, its headquarters moved to Irving, Texas. And I think they may be associated with JVC or some other stuff. But the radios are still around, even after 100 years of a company that knew how to do it. So back to you, sir. Give us another transmission, and it's working just fine. So I think you'll be able to put the post-it on that one with a good check mark.
Oh, that's good, Dennis. Doggone it, I'm sure I'm happy of that. And these people were busy. Johnson produced a lot of radios in its time. I'm in love with all of them, even their mobiles. I've always been I've always enjoyed working Johnsons. I had a mobile at one time. I never had no problems with it. But I'm glad this one here is operable now, and I can, basically leave it as it is and leave it in line, hooked up. I won't mess with it anymore. Okay, Dennis, thanks a whole lot. This was, like you said, it was hardwired in. We managed to save it. The guy that brought it to me happened to drop it, and while it was still hooked up in we got lucky. It left traces of where wires were hooked up at one time, but Harvey was able to put the plug on the left side of the radio, and now we have this D104 wired to it. Thanks a lot, Dennis.
Thanks for bringing it by. The video that anybody's looking at, that is the Johnson Viking head logo. You know, Hallicrafters had the little lowercase h, and Hammerland had the H with the component line through it, and Heathkit had what they had. So the Johnson had their Viking head logo, and in the radios for the Messenger 2, someone asked about that. You had to specify the model number. And I was looking to see if we actually had the model numbers on here, but they at least had two. They had a 12 volt and a 117 volt, and at this time, I think they got rid of the 6 volt versions of these. I could be wrong about that. I know the Viking Messenger, the whiteface, you could get him in 3 versions, but not sure about the Messenger 2. In fact, it says 242, 162, and 242, 163 were the model numbers. So one of those was a 12 volt, and one was a 117. The price $169.95, so a little bit cheaper than the General Radio Telephone at about the same time. And this is a 10-tube transmitter, by the way, 10-tube transceiver, I should say. But it did not have an S meter, and so hard to say. But this was in that range of if you were going to start out and get your base mobile, and you had your whatever, it's $300, $400 to get into plus your antennas. This is with the route you would go. More about it in PhotoFax, Sam's PhotoFax book number 5, page 48. And it says there is a Sam's PDF PhotoFax at oldtuberadio.com. Your 5-watt DC input, 3.5-watt RF output. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Dennis.
And I bet those radios were throttled down a little bit too. Some of them would be modifiable for 10 meters. Might have had a big enough power supply that you could. And I'm sure I remember a lot of the stations that had these early on would do something to modify them. Whether it was in some type of like a screen modulation, they'd get a controlled carrier, and I think it would help them get a little bit more than 3.5 watts out of the transceiver, out of the transmitter. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark. Thanks for joining us. And we are going to be looking for radio number 3.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. Your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
1017. Looking good on my S meter. Let me bring up the control room. Take a transmission, and we'll figure out where I have to go to find a picture.
This is manufactured in 1969, Golden Eagle by Browning, Mark II, with right now a dead key of 3 and swinging to 12. Beautiful radio, and thank you to Harvey, and a little bit of hard work, and here it is. And my pleasure to be able to present it to everyone out there via Jerry 151. If it wasn't for him, we would not be hearing this radio.
And we're hearing it well. All right, I found a Mark II picture. I have a feeling this one might not do justice for the 1 year running, but our database has, for some reason, the Mark II's just never made it in there. It's got the one before that and the one that. So this is your larger receiver. It's got the AM transmitter built like a tank, which is, the fact that they're still easily workable and made it into the 21st century with no problem. So back to you. I mentioned this to you. I like the ping. It's short and to the point, but it does get your attention. Over.
I like it. Jerry doesn't. He likes the big screaming eagle. I just said, well, this one's got a cold or laryngitis. I guess laryngitis. Yeah, the Mark II transmitter is my favorite out of all of them. I like it is. It's built like a tank, but it's just this nice small cube, and man, does it like to get out there and swing.
Audio's good. You don't have it over. I mean, you can crank them, and it's gonna hard to get into flat top, nice and loud. But I think it's just about where it needs to be. Did I do a zero beat on there? No. I'll do that in the next go around and see where the crystal is landing on this thing. Of course, you've got to do the not tune and load, the spot control. So hopefully that's not much of a chore, I hope.
Nah, it's a piece of cake.
I kind of like that because then you know
the receiver's where it's supposed to be. This one also has the original. Some call them the banana, some call them the ice cream cone. Electro Voice 4 Browning microphone, and the microphone I'm on right now is a non-amplified D104 from 1947. It does have the original riveted metal tag on the head and the original riveted metal tag on the base. So this microphone's older than all of us.
That's why it sounds good. It likes those microphones that want the high impedance input. Well, you're right on frequency. I did the zero beat, and I had to go up like 70 cycles, maybe on the high side, to get the warble, the really low frequency warble away. So that is right on frequency. The variable receive, so that'll take you into the RC channels like 10 or 11A and 14. So when the old Tube Radio Network is testing, you can find me.
Yeah, and the Mark II receiver also has the added bonus of you throw a switch and it takes you up into the upper funny channels, which in its day were actually business band frequencies, and it still operates up there also.
Good, nice audio. It's good. Sometimes the Browning can be really sharp and piercing. That's, I think, just the way they came from, what I'm hearing, the way it came from the factory. It's got full audio, it's rolled off below 200, but that's what they did, and that's why they sound so good through all the noise. I'm going to put the S meter up, so when you come back, we'll get a full S meter cam, but it looks like your usual 20 over and some good forward modulation over.
Yeah, I just love this radio. And we're sitting out here with the campfire going, out here in the driveway with the garage door open, and I've got some original Christmas lights that were mine from when I was a kid back in the early 70s, hanging up around the door. So if you guys want to see it from the driver's seat, Radio Lifer is the channel on YouTube.
All right. Well, will it be this conversation, or do you have a pre-conversation going on?
We have a pre-video of just the radio gear and everything going on, and he's also making one of this conversation right here.
Okay, excellent stuff. So you've heard it. If you're listening in, you hear it from my vantage point, the way you would be if you were listening on the receiver. So take a journey into the driver's seat with the operator by checking in to Radio Lifer, Liferrrr, over on YouTube, and the video quality is really good. The audio is there, and you'll see the blinky lights and everything that it takes to get these things running. And you'll think, why don't I have one? Or why don't I have more than one, I guess. Back to you, sir. It's radio number 3, Browning Golden Eagle Mark II. Like I said, I like what you did all the way around. It's right on frequency. The audio couldn't be any better. And you've got a classic microphone on the radio. Over to you, and thanks.
All righty. And, I think the laryngitis is flaring up. Hey, Dennis, I sure appreciate it, and Jerry appreciates it too. And we got to give a shout out to Harvey for giving us the opportunity to purchase this wonderful radio. And everybody out there, we appreciate your patronage, staying up late, watching the show, and listening to us check these amazing old radios in. There's nothing like them. All the best to everyone. Happy holidays and 73s. 1017.
Indeed. Hopefully people can do a similar thing, whether it's just get on the air night with classic tube radios or maybe the vintage 70s and 80s radios, the ones that had all the knobs and dials and, before they compacted into little tiny stuff. And then also check out Radio Lifer, Liferrrr, to actually... The picture I have is sorry compared to what you'll see there. You'll actually see the radio transmitting, the on-the-air light going, and the wiggle meters are wiggling. You're listening to the old tube radio network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, doing this since the mid-1980s and having a good time. We're doing it.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
And they're doing it the right way. It's cold here in the valley, but if you got the little heater thing going and you've got the Christmas lights... I forgot to ask Dennis if those are the 1970s. It's probably this. There was a C7, right? A C7 and a C9 screw-in incandescent bulb. I think the C7 was a smaller bulb you might put on you probably would put on your tree. You could decorate the house. And the C9 would be the bigger, larger bulb that would go outside the house. And I don't know if that number was designating the wattage or whatever it was, but they're hard to find these days. Adjust the S meter. There it is. I can make the noise at 0. That's with about 12 dB of attenuation, but it keeps the background noise down. Pretty quiet tonight. No skid. No nighttime skid. Well, that's what they did. They used the bobby pins for the guys that didn't have the Brownings. Then we go boing. But that would be interesting. The MIDI Korg, one of those early 80s when the little Casios, Korgs, the Rolands, the JB something came out, started doing sampling and LFO, get into the Walter Carlos, the Wendy Carlos tubular bell sound. Now, let me take off the attenuation. Let's see where the noise level's really at. That's with the preamp on. Hearing something going on. It's just you get a lot of noise listening in. So back to the 12 dB. There's the Orban loudness meter. That's any audio that comes through net control, whether it's my audio, the microphone, the audio from the receiver, which you're hearing when I don't talk, the Echo link, the crossband will all register on that meter. And that gives you levels. Try to keep everything at about between minus 20 and minus 15, and that's the levels that YouTube likes before they overcompress everything. And I'm telling you, we're hearing some noise, some DX coming in there. But I'm not quite sure if the band is open. Don't see anything on the DX map. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network, looking for any and all check-ins. The Roland D50. You know what I've got? It's a Roland, and it was a W32. So I want to say that's probably mid-1980s, and that was their first, I think Roland's first sampling keyboard, with a big, probably 512 megabytes of memory or something. Just kind of waiting for that skip door to open.
They put tariffs on the skip there, so that's why there is none.
Yeah, it could be the DX map is showing one contact, a short contact from Northern California to Southern California. That's the only one that's been logged in, so maybe we'll get something in. I think all the clouds are too much for. I thought maybe we'd have some ducting, but maybe not. And hello, Dallas, from the West Coast out there to Tennessee. And someone's back in the radio room.
check in my R68 T68. Alrighty? And I have to kind of leave the room. We'll catch you next week, Dennis.
I know you don't want to be enticed by all the blinky lights.
No, it's not that. I got, I got to get some rest. Okay. Good show, Dennis. I was listening from the other room. Take it easy. We'll catch you all next week.
All right, thanks for joining us. Keep doing what the doctor says to do and more of it. Thank you for jumping into the Old Tube Radio Network and radio for tonight, the Browning R68 T68 Golden Beagle. Thanks.
Catch you later.
Good night, Harvey. SWL 60.
And hello, radio. Hello, Joe. Back in the air chair, you've got the coax switch on something that sounds good.
Well, we have from Metrotech the Mustang 2. I know the holidays are kind of creeping up on us, and I kind of see and feel the morale of people kind of dropping a little bit, tipping the scales there. After the holidays, things will begin to pick up, but with the new year coming and all that's happening, it's tough. It's tough for a lot of us. Anyway, I wanted to key this one up, the Mustang 2, for Harvey. For Ken and Marshall out there in Oklahoma. Wish you the best of holidays. Dennis, my Mustang 2 from ProTech, the Mustang 2, 7 tubes. I would imagine it says here 9, 11, 14, and 28. Not for sure, but those are the channels listed on the radio.
Probably right. Sometimes they put a Dymo label maker on there. And Kenny was in earlier before the net started. I was able to chat with him on the little window and said hello, radio. Told him we missed the voice out here, but we enjoy the radios. And I specifically mentioned that we are loving the Mustang too, and we might hear it tonight. And indeed, here it is. Over.
Well, this is quite a little radio for being just a little stock mic. I don't know what type of element it has in there, but it seems to be working the meter box over here. 7 tubes, Dennis. We have a volume, we have a squelch, tuner, a variable tuner on here, and channel selector. We have the crystal switch and the spotter switch, and a light that indicates that we are operating.
Good enough. Convection cooling, holes on the top to keep it cool. And yeah, compared to, I was trying to find a price on this, and I bet it was very similar to the Messenger 2. But it does have a little bit more, you've got the meter and some other things. You don't have the full 23 channels, but it's got the typical tunable receive and all the good stuff. And this is the radios that if you wanted to get in for your $200 or less, get on the air, whether it was to do the chit chat thing, which you weren't supposed to do, or actually get your station set up, your base and a mobile radio. This is how a lot of people got in. And we mentioned this before, like early cars in the 1920s and the 1930s, there were a lot of car manufacturers. It just wasn't the Dodge brothers and Ford and Cadillac. It was all sorts of very small manufacturers. Same way with the radios in the early 60s. And as they dropped out, I guess we weren't making enough money or sold their designs to somebody, then you had the big players up until the early to mid 70s, and then the Panasonics and the Unidens figured it all out. But we love the early radios and the names and the numbers and the cool looks. I mean, it is like an old car. So good deal. Anyway, thanks to Kenny and thanks to you for bringing it by. I'm going to put it down for radio number 5. I'll go back to you for transmission.
Well, thank you, Dennis. This mic is hardwired into the radio. It would have been nice in a sense to have a plug there, a Cobra plug to put a different mic on or whatever. But we're kind of satisfied with it. I've been happy with it. It's a very durable little radio. When I first turn it on, the old meter section is up in the air, and then she drops, and she goes to work. A nice little radio. Okay, Dennis, I've got one more, and I'll have that ready to go here in a minute.
Sounds good. And what microphone are you using again? Is it the stock microphone?
This, Dennis, is the original microphone. The cord is white, and the mic is white. Unusual little microphone. I've never seen one like it, but I'm thinking that it fits right, acts right with this radio.
Well, you answered my question. I was going to describe it, and you described perfectly the picture that we're showing, and it's not the picture of Kenny's radio, or your radio, but it does have the hardwired microphone in the front on the left, and it goes on a less than stellar coiled cord into the cream color, white colored microphone that's stuck to the little... Oh, do you have the microphone holder on the side?
No, this one does not have the mic holder, nor the bracket is my other radio there from Radio Labs. Doggone it, this would be a nice radio to set in the mobile with a hard dash. Convenient, small, about 3/4 the size of a loaf of bread. She's got your meter. It's got a nice speaker on it, and it receives well.
Well, that's good. That's the part I like. You're hearing me. Okay, looks good, sounds good. It is radio number 5 from Metrotech. They made a couple of other radios. You don't hear a lot of them, but they were very affordable. So they are out there. In our almost 40 years of OTR, we have had a few Metrotechs, but the Mustang 2, not very many. Thanks for bringing it by. And I've got the next, before we sign out here, I've got the next spot reserved for you. So take your time hooking it up, and we'll be right back.
Thank you, Dennis.
And I'm looking for a year. Thank you for the question on the Mustang 2. And I'm coming up with 1964, but that may be for one of the others, like the Metrotech or just the regular Mustang. Usually a giveaway on these is if they weren't 23 channels. It wasn't a 23-channel radio, and it was a manufacturer like this. It was probably the early to mid 60s, and I was going to look to see if there was some mobile or 117-volt cords, but not finding too much on the Mustang 2.
No, that's for sure there, Dennis. Doggone it, nice little radio, though. Can't go wrong. Dennis, I'd like to check in my Robin 23. This is all channels, all 23 for sure. The Robin 123B.
Robin T123B. And thanks, Robert, SWL31, Robert Trees will get you guys checked in. And answering one of my questions here about that radio, the Metrotech and the Mustang. I think they were all somewhat similar, because I remember talking to people that had those radios, and probably the early to mid 60s. I'm not sure exactly where the Metrotech was manufactured, but did have a lot of them out here on the West Coast, so maybe it was something like that. Okay, over to our next radio. I will grab a photo of it, I hope, before we get out of here. But go ahead and take another transmission. We're all kind of familiar. When we do the year end, who was the most manufacturers check in? The Robin is always ROBYN is always in the top 3. I have a feeling this year it's probably going to move up to number 2 and number 1. Take a transmission over.
Well, thank you much, Dennis. Also, in that Mustang too, it has a crystal slot there for an added crystal, and that would be nice for 11 to be there in that slot. On the Robin here, Dennis, we got 23 channels. We have what they would call probably funny channels. I don't like to refer to them as funny channels, but it has a few switches in front, and one goes up and one goes down, and you've got maybe another 9 channels added to this. I think they'd go from 26 down to 39. 28 and 27, I think, are not on the radio. But doggone it, you have quite a few features on this radio. You have the external speaker, that has a light. The modulation, of course, has a light. The PA has a little light. Your TX, as you're keyed up, is on, and modulation at the same time. It is on, your range expand is on. You got your volume, your squelch, your fine tune, and your RF gain, which is kind of nice in that order. It has a tune and peak in the back, has adjustable meter, switch in the back there so you can adjust your meter. And of course, there's not much to adjust there because when you key up, I've got a solid 10 pounds.
Oh, so I've got 10 pounds and good modulation. So that's good. I've come up in the world a little bit. Well, we all know about the Panasonic 2 chassis, plate modulation, good items of interest like that. And we also found that the Metrotech was made in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I was a little off base thinking they were here on the West Coast. So they had a good distribution system. So your Mustang 2 made it all the way from to Fresno to Tulsa, Oklahoma to Raleigh, North Carolina. I guess where it started out, and then back here to Fresno, Clovis. And thanks to 23 Skidoo, who's Mitch checked in, and he is confirming that we are going to be getting visited next week by Espresso Trucking Company. And my guess, are they bringing in the amps? Are we going to have to plug them in? I always like it if they just stay at the green room. It looks like we'll be plugging them in next week. Robin T123, you've got the switches, the funny channels. You know, I was going to ask you, did you ever, when you were on a funny channel, did you ever laugh at anything?
You know what, Dennis? I've always found laughter in these radios. I enjoy them, and I think that probably is why I do smile and laugh when I'm on these radios. I enjoy them, and I often want more, and, maybe sometimes they would be kind of nice to have power behind them and so, but these radios are my favorite. They don't need the power. If you can hear them, fine, and if you can't, well, I think the person who runs this radio, who runs that radio, or his radio, her radio, enjoys what she has, regardless of what the outcome is. This radio here is like I say, well equipped, and it's keeping room temperature. You can deal with it right now because the grill, or I should say the top, I call it a grill, it gets pretty hot in the summertime.
Yeah, we've got a recipe. I'm sure we've got a recipe from Chrissy where you can do a little shepherd's pie in the heavy-duty aluminum foil in the tin pan on top of the radio. In fact, I got to go back. I think I wrote it down. One of my favorite recipes she did was that it was the tater tot ham thing. And now is a good time for that. It's winter, and that's a good thing. So we're gonna have to revisit some of the recipes. Metrotech was a subsidiary of Regency. All right. Well, maybe that's why we got some audio. I don't think they. I was looking at the meter. I don't think they were suppressed carrier audio like the Olson sidebanders and the Regency. So Good stuff on the Metrotech. Don't get rid of it. And you remember thank you, Rob. You remember the Easy Bake Ovens? The Easy Bake Ovens, you might be able to get one of those little pans and bake a cake on the top of that. Over.
Yeah, Dennis, doggone, you're making me hungry. You know, I enjoy the tater tots, but boy, I'm old-fashioned, man. I would love to be able to put some sweet yams up there on the top, and a little cream to go with them, and boy, I would really be happy.
All right, here we are talking about food, and let's see, it was hot chocolate and cinnamon rolls in the green room, and that's where I'm going here shortly. Thanks for radio number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 6, radio 6 tonight. We did better than I thought. I thought everybody was going to be out at the Christmas parties or shopping. But I guess when there was no football game, and we did get a check-in from Christmas Tree Lane tonight, which is up and running until a day or two after the 25th. I drive by it on the way home from the radio station. They got the police escorts. The crowds haven't been real big because I think it's just been too cold, but you never know. Thanks for bringing the radio by tonight.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Thanks for the listeners out there. Doggone it. Like I say, enjoy these radios, especially the tubers, and also the solid states. I try to get one that, ready for key up in the introduction there. I like to work with the old mics and the older radios. And while we have a chance there, I'd like to throw in a proxy for Radio Boy. I spoke with him the other day, and he's doing okay. He's doing okay. That young man has always amazed me on how he keeps himself busy, supporting the family. So I'd like to put in a proxy for Radio Boy.
Okay, we'll do that. In fact, I met him. He was out briefly, but he was out at the swap meet for the Fresno Amateur Radio Club. He came up to me and said, hey. So I got to talk with Radio Boy, so we'll get 72 checked in. Also, 23 Skidoo, who is out there doing color tonight. Let me know what is what. And it's not a question, but we'll throw it out here because somebody did mention it. Did you, and I'll let you go, but did you in the course of your radio check-ins tonight, and it doesn't for any of them, for the E.F. Johnson or the Robin or whatever, did you at any time reach out to test or to check how hot the radio was?
No, I didn't. I'm just going by the room temperature on my thermometer here for the area here, because I've got 5 radios or so on, and they're on warm. This one is basically always on standby. That's neat about this one. The Robin has a standby, so you don't have to worry about it. It's connected and ready to go. But no, I didn't.
All right. Well, so somebody mentioned that. I'm that kind of guy. It's like you got to see is the radio. How hot is the thing? Is just like you do with anything. Is that pan hot on the stove? Oh, I guess it's hot. You knew it was hot, but it's just like how hot is it? All right. One more other question, and this is a good one because I heard the same thing through my headphoniums, and we'll be talking about the audio from the Mustang and the audio from the Robin. So I'll preface the question. First off, you are not running the same microphone between the two radios, right? Because one of them's hardwired in. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. This one has the original Cobra plug, the Robin, and I'm on a preamplified D104. This one has a corrected microphone head already. The original went out, and this kit I bought on eBay wires in, and I had to do a little wiring at the bottom. Now the Mustang 2 is on a original stock mic.
Indeed. Let me see. Do we still have a picture of stuff here? No, we took the picture away, so I'll go back. All right. Well, I noticed the same thing. I think the audio in the Mustang, and I have it on the replay. You can watch the video replay. Two things to look at is, and that's why I do it. You look at on the bottom left of the screen is the OR band meter, and you look at your LKFS numbers, and that's your loudness to see where the loudness is between the two. And then you can look at the S meter and the amount of swing, the amount of movement, the amount of forward movement. That sometimes it tells you a little bit more about the percentage of modulation. But I think, and who was it? Fubar Snafu heard it too. The Robin, or rather the Mustang 2, actually sounds a little clearer and cleaner than the Robin. Even though I think when I would look at the LKFS, the Robin might be louder. So that stock microphonium on the Mustang is in really good shape. That crystal is in good shape. Maybe it's one like on the General Radio Telephone where it's really matched to the radio. And I almost think from what I'm hearing that the D104 on the Robin could have, the cartridge on that could have, I wouldn't call it an issue, but it's certainly not as clean as the other one. The other one is, the other issue might be that since you said it was preamplified, it could be turned down a little bit. But I think we've done that before. But just a note, there's nothing wrong with the two radios, but I heard the same thing. And you're saying one's a preamplified microphone, the Robin, and the stock microphone on the Metrotech. So that's how good that Metrotech audio is. Over.
Wow, that's amazing. It is amazing there for sure. We'll do a little work to this one. Maybe next time we'll kind of play with the volume. I did want to change the head on this one and put the original head on this one here and disconnect the two wires that are on the bottom from the battery. Because just like I say, these kits, I don't agree with them. They're not, for me, they're not your lollipop style head on there. It's like putting a mic head off of a Cobra mic on this. It's just not for it. And if I can find the original cartridges, the 320 elements that go in these, I will buy them because I do like the D104 style.
That's nice. Well, you hear and you can find the goo and listen to what Dennis and Jerry are doing, where their old D104, whatever radio they put on or match that with, sounds really good on the tube. So that's got a great, whatever the element is, whatever the impedance matching is doing, sounds nice and clear and not crunchy. So there is a little bit of a dance, a handshake between the radio, the microphone, I guess the impedance, and therein. So that's part of, I guess, why we did this. If people want to come in and test microphones and see what sounds good or take a poll, that's what we do. All right, thanks, Joe. Thanks for the extra time tonight, and we will catch you next time around. Over.
Well, thank you, Dennis, and for sure, we'll keep you busy these holidays.
Yeah, we're going to be baking cookies or something like that. Do all the holiday stuff. The lights are showing up around the neighborhood. I'm going to have to take a walk. Years and years ago, when I had back at a different location, when I had my 55-foot tower, I had strings of lights coming from the top of the tower down to the front of the residence. And there were 70, and I think I had 6. So what's that, like 400 lights, all cascading down, and it always looked great when the fog would come. And this was 40 years ago when nobody was really doing the lights. I used to have, I kid you not, I used to have people stopping and knocking on the door and wondering, what is going on? I used to climb that tower and put those lights up once a year. And there was so much wired that it was, and I was down by an AM radio station where a Kino used to be. And when I had them, I had to turn them on and plug them in. And when I unplugged them, they would pick up the radio station and bring it through. And I was running the Yaesu 101 at the time. It would put out massive interference from 1300. I would get the 3rd, 4th, 5th harmonic all the way up the band. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with what you do. Let's stick with the C7, a C7 and the C9. And And Charlie is saying, we're going to decorate next week? Okay, yeah, maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Espresso Trucking will be here next week, so it will be fun. Catch you all next time. The jingle singers have to sing us out. If we've got them here, I have to cue them and put them in, and we'll see what happens. Or not. They don't like us anymore. There we go.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
OTR?
This is OTR over.
Oh, I know it's getting late. How about one from the radio lounge?
I can do that. We haven't. It was just the fanfare. They've got the horns at the ready. But they're recheck. To tell them to recheck the valves. Recheck the spit valves so we can get another check in. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Before I officially check this in, you said where Kino used to be. Was this the AM station that was somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in Madera? It was literally like a cinder block home, not a home, but just a real small building out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I'll say it was a small building, and it might have been out in the middle of nowhere in the 1950s, but this would be the 1300 on your AM radio dial, KYNO, that is now in the middle of a residential district, but it was out on Barton, like Barton and McKinley or something like that, and there was a single or a dual. I think it was a single AM tower off of Cedar it's on Barton, so it's past Cedar Avenue and south of Clinton.
Okay. Yeah, I have some questions and just some curiosities about it. There was some AM radio station that was out, again, in the middle of nowhere in Madera. I think I spent some time there when I was super young. And then maybe, I can't remember how many years ago it was, I was driving around randomly, probably lost, to be honest with you, and just happened to run across the exact same thing. I mean, it was like seeing a ghost. Fun. The fun stuff, maybe that's the topic for some other time. But for right now, how about Robin T123B is in Bravo. I know you just had one, and Jesus, I've got to in this thing. It's making me super uncomfortable, but back-to-back audio for your listening pleasure.
For our listening pleasure. Well, it sounds good. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't really sound. It doesn't sound like you're shouting or doing anything bad. So, and of course, the 123B does have the range expand, which I think you mentioned in prior episodes that you do have it turned on, right?
You're catching me switching from one radio to the other. Yep, the previous radio, the 123B is in Bravo, had the range expand on. I'm assuming that's what you were talking about. This one that I'm on right now has no range expand. It's the second radio. Not chronologically, but it's my other Robin, the 123. Nothing else after that. Magic Eye Tube, no range expand, amplified D104.
Good deal. And we have a similar situation. We were talking prior. The video with the picture people are looking right now is a 123B, and I will put up a quick link for the 123, but you actually have louder and better audio on the not 123B. So I wonder if the 123Bs, after a while they get that the audio isn't as clear or clean, but they both sound good over.
Yeah. So let me just let me clarify. I'm sure I already understand this. You're saying this one I'm on right now has louder audio. If so, I'm sure it's kind of a no-brainer. This one has an amplified mic. I know the other one apparently was set up for an amplified mic, which I don't have on it. But this if I'm correct in this, this one's always been fun. Again, with I guess the way it's set up and this amplified mic, it's loud enough to be heard everywhere. I almost took it down Christmas Tree Lane tonight, but things just got too busy and too late.
Yeah, it's a cleaner sound. It's loud. They both sound good. Believe it or not, we did get a check-in, a mobile check-in from Christmas Tree Lane tonight. Yeah, sounded like it was busy, and sounds like it was cold too. I'm so impressed, and that's just so exciting. Who was it, if I might ask? Aaron, SWL 52 was now. He wasn't as daring to be walking with a 5-foot antenna beaconing him through the cedar trees, but he was in his mobile radio.
Oh, good for him. Well, I almost did that tonight. Again, it's kind of cold. Well, it's not kind of cold. It's cold out there. I was out there walking for the opening night of it. No walk nights this year, and I can comment on that some other time. But I was walking along. It was great. There was hardly anyone there, at least from 5:15-ish to 6:30-ish. Hardly anyone there whatsoever, and that's probably the best time to be there. But that's great. Maybe a handheld HT night ought to be up and coming. Who knows?
Could be, yeah. I drive by it every day from the radio station, and they have the police out there, and there is, just like there's no traffic for them to do. So I don't know what's going on, and that's what Aaron said. He said they thought the walk nights were canceled. Because your name did come up for the guy that braves the cold, so don't have to do that. We got our check-in, and our check-in, the Robin T123B, the Robin T123, so it's all sounding good. I'll take it back to you. The jingle singers, they have the horns at the ready for the fanfare, for the counting and the amounting. But it's sounding good, and I'm glad you were able to jump in. Oh, and William is mentioning that the range expand is always on the 123, and the 123 has the switch to sort of cut it out, or you can turn it off or turn it on. So that possibly sounds correct. Maybe they figured a lot of people were running preamplified microphones by that time, so it's like let's turn the gain down if you don't need it. All right, back to you.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. The only last thing I can say is there was a comment that you made quite some time ago. Made me just think about this time of the year, and boy, as a kid, I used to just look forward. I mean, I'm serious. One of the best things about this time of the year was getting the Radio Shack catalogs in the mail, and you better believe I was immediately trying to find the pages that had the CB radios, the 123, or not the 123s, the TRC 217s, the better ones with the little LCD screens on there. But it was just such a magic time to look through the Radio Shack catalogs. Again, it was always the transistor ones when I was old enough to pay attention to that type of stuff. But boy, I hope Santa brings everyone the transistor radios or the tube radios that they've always dreamed of for Christmas. What a fun thought that is. And well, I guess on that I'll sign off and say 73 to all from the Radio Lounge, 47.
Indeed, thanks for the memories on that. And just when you thought you were going to get something or you could afford something, they would come out with what? More channels? 5 watts instead of 3 watts? Or, the extra little battery charger pack, and then you realized, well, you could get an external antenna, an external microphone, and especially the walkie-talkies were cool. And then by the time you added all this stuff, it's sort of like, go ahead and buy the Mini 23. It's cheaper, but fun stuff. And that's how it started for me. We're getting the old Sears Space Patrol radios that had the code key, and you could SWL some shortwave listener bands in it, and you hope your buddy down the street got a walkie-talkie as well, as you could check in on Christmas morning. The Old Tube Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
I guess we can go to a Lock to Talk on this one and get out of here. Boy, 10:32. Thanks for everybody who's staying up late here tonight, or maybe you got in late or whatever, but tonight we had, and I've got to look. I've got 2 pieces. Okay, we had 21 check-ins on page 1, 21 check-ins on page 2, 14 on page 3, and 22 on page 4 for a total of 78. 42, 36. Okay, we'll call it 78. And radios tonight, we came in with 8, and the Robin's coming up great at the end for the most heard manufacturer. But tonight, in order of appearance, starting with Sangertown. Sean timed it just right. He's been out working heavy-duty hours and got in the door and ran over to the radio, and was right when we were calling for a radio check-in. So the General Radio Telephone MC, the Master Control 5 from 1962-63, our first radio tonight, sounding really good. The E.F. Johnson Viking Messenger TWO from Joe, and I'm sure in the December catalogs of S9 magazine or CB or whatever they had, there was probably a lot of these very sets sitting under some virtual Christmas tree, virtual metal tree with the 4-color wheel beaconing on it, and the fake snow, saying this is what you need to do. Radio number 3 tonight, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark II from Dennis and Jerry, and that'll be featured. You'll get to see that radio, and I think they said they were doing a video of when they were checking in. So you'll get to hear them checking in from the driver's side up on the video, YouTube video. If you go to, and I got to get it right because I got it written down. Radio Lifer, and there's 2 words. Radio Lifer, LIFERRRR. So search for that, and then look for the current date. And I want to do that. I want to see what that radio, what was blinking on that radio. So cool stuff. And they've got some other ones too from previous episodes and other items of interest. After that, the R68, another Browning. The Brownings were in the lead at that time. The R68 T68 Golden Beagle from Harvey was listening from afar and obeying the doctor's orders. He's doing a good job. Mustang 2, Metrotech. Had the Mustang 2, a couple of similar models. We found out they're a subsidiary of Regency. You have to find out more about that. I don't even know if I've got one in the archives here or not. Radio number 6 was the Robin T123 from Joe. So thank you, Joe, for the Mustang and the Robin. And then, as you just heard, another dynamic duo. They called it the Batman radio. Here's the dynamic duo, the Robin T123B and T123. So stay safe out there. Keep a positive attitude. Sometimes with extra traffic and shopping and things like that, it gets a little weird, but we will be here next week. Espresso Trucking Company is here to, are they going to guarantee? They're guaranteed to cheer you up. And I don't know if that's when they stop performing or when they start, but join us, Mud Ducks, everything else. The Old Tube Radio Network. Catch you next time. Over. Lost all my paperwork. What do they say? 72 plus 1.
Yeah, God. Just as long as they don't say 6767.
You know, someone tried to explain that to me about the 6-7.
I was hoping, like, no one, including you, would even... I was hoping that wouldn't register on your radar screen. I'm sad that it did. Unfortunately, 13-year-olds and under are all too aware of that.
Well, I went away for the holidays down to somewhere that had, you know, people much younger than myself, and that's where I was introduced to the 6767 thing.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I turned it around. We had someone's grandmother there who was 9-7, and so I said, well, you can do a 6-7, or you can do a 9-7, 9-7, 9-7, over.
Or you just turn the 9 upside down. Would that be... I think that would be 6-7. Whatever. That's, okay, so that's the main thing. And then the other one is the Mariah Carey. You just start, like, screaming really loud, high-pitched screaming. And when they really start to agitate you, you know, you ask about that. And they're like, oh, it's Mariah Carey. You know, just, you either say 6-7, or you start screaming just high-pitched noises. And that's supposed to be Mariah Carey. It probably means the exact same thing.
Just turn on if you want to hear that, just turn on your CB radio at any time when the sun is up.
Oh, you're true. Oh, you're correct. Hey, so do you have any idea what AM station that might have been out in the middle of nowhere? It was in Madera, probably just a little bit east of 99.
Oh, I wish I had some of my radio friends because they would tell you exactly what it was. And when I was at Fresno State and we were working at the campus radio station, there was a guy that actually was from Madera, and I remember him working at a radio station in Madera, and it was probably, you know, super minimum wage podunk. And I can't remember the call letters. I know it wasn't KHOT. It was... You know, I don't remember. Probably I could do a search, but I bet that was the station because I remember him working there, and it was like, I don't even think we could even hear it in town. But we're getting warmer.
Oh my God, K-Hot. That, oh boy, that brings back really old memories. The only thing I can say, and you better write this down, Phil Remick was one of the radio hosts, or at least I think he was, Phil Remick. And don't ask me how to spell that, but I remember going out there a few times, again, out in the middle of nowhere, thinking, oh, this is just like the coolest thing ever. AM radio station out in the middle of nowhere. And boy, that was awesome.
All right. Oops. All right, you made me do it. KHOT, I can't believe my memory. KHOT-AM is a radio station broadcasting, well, this is what it is now, but a radio station, but it wasn't then. KHOT is a radio station broadcasting a Catholic talk format licensed to Madera, California, United States. It serves the Madera-Fresno area. The station is owned by Relevant Radio Incorporated. I'm sure they've had multiple owners since then. First air date, 1957. The frequency is 1250 AM. And so there's probably somebody that has, here's the way it used to be, but I bet that's it.
It's affiliated with a church? Now, oh, that's not what it used to be. That makes me want to go look at the well, it wasn't a bumper sticker, but I had a sticker on my tricycle that I think said K-Hot on it. And I wonder if it had the frequency on there. I just don't know. Wow. You know, that's funny. I want to make comments about WKRP in Cincinnati, just having to switch over from one format to another. It was like that was a big thing. I can't remember when it was. Anyways, okay, well, K-Hot, I'm going to have to go look this up and maybe do a drive-by tomorrow.
All right, well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but that's sort of what my memory jogs to. And that was, a mom-and-pop station. I worked at one here in Fresno. It was a 500-watt radio station in the 70s. And they did too, and this other guy worked at the other one. So it was all we got college kids that will work for minimum wage, which was at that time $2 an hour, $2.10, and we will just rake them over the coals. 500 watts during the day, that was typical for the mom and pop radio station. It was owned by somebody, like I said, it's probably had multiple owners. And it's an AM, and it's low power, and they're not going to get any more power, so it's just going to be what it is. At night, it's 81 watts. So don't look the wrong way. Don't make a left turn when you should make a right turn, because you probably won't hear it. All right, that's it. I'm sticking to it. I'm out of here. But it might be worth a drive if you bundle up on the bike. If it's probably obviously still there, owned by Relevant Radio Incorporated, and it does have a translator coordinates. Oh, translator coordinates. Never mind. Listen. Oh, and you could go to listen live. So there you go. KHOT 73.
Okay, and I'm shocked that it's only 500 watts. I have no idea what KMJ is. Although I can tell you, it's not just the Central Valley that can receive that. There'll be a discussion for some other time. God, 500 watts? That's like 2.5 of the incandescent pool light bulbs. Oh my God, that's just incredible. Okay, a discussion for some other time. 73, good night, and have a good evening to all from the Lounge of Radios.
Okay, and I am finally getting out of here. And Gary in West Virginia, Hammerlin HQ 110. The 105, that was one of those was the same one that gets checked in here that's got the clock, and then there was a 250 or something that was the same one that's got the 6 channel. It covers 18 to 148. See, that's odd. Normally they stop at 30, so that's got the 2-meter band, right? Rebuilt, sounds super. Hooked up the Hartley CW-TX. I'm surprised it goes all the way up to 148. VHF. Okay, I'll check that out, because I didn't know they had a VHF version. The one we check in, that was the 100. Oh, it's a 110, all right. 100, 105, something like that, and then they stopped at 30. So cool stuff. Those were really cool radios. Now you got to get there's a matching speaker that goes with that as well. Who had who's that, Bill? Who had the 1,000 watts in high school? Our high school didn't even have an FM station. They had like a loudspeaker. Today in the cafeteria. And then when I came up here to Fresno, I was like, oh yeah, the campus has a radio station. It was AM carrier current. That's what it was. It wasn't even on the air. It wasn't until later that they got the FM. Boy, that is big. So I wonder if they had it donated or something. The problem is now AM and FM stations are a burden. So if I would be curious if the high school still has it, or if they shut it down, or if they sold it, or if they're farming it out. Like here, they're farming out the FM. They don't even have students come in anymore. The students don't care. Students don't care about radio. They want to do a podcast. So it's a bunch of old people like me that come in and do the programming. But it's kind of sad. Nope, nobody will dress up in the suit anymore to sit in front of a microphone and spin a 45. What can I say? Good night, everybody. Your old tube radio network. Meatloaf. Turn in your report cards. The AM, because it's directional. So you've got to be directional. Change that power. The one I worked at, we signed off. They couldn't even get a low power designation. I would sign the transmitter off at dusk at 4:40, and the November, December it was 4:45. You work during the summer, it's like, oh man, we're going to be there till 8:30, and then you sign off. So it changed. The bad thing was, when you're getting paid $2 an hour, that paycheck in the winter was mighty slim, especially if you got there at 2 o'clock. You can get a 2.5 hour shift. During the summer, it's like, a nice 6 or 7 hour shift. Take home another couple of dollars to put that 50-cent gas into the Buick. That is a pretty decent power for AM. And without saying anything, that is also pretty bold to be in what we are, to actually be in the band. Because that's when your neighbors who are making, and I'm not making a one way or the other. I might have had one too, but when you live within the band, your neighbors tend to know. It's like, I wonder who that is. And are they taking away money? So that's very bold. And normally all the Pirates now are down on 69.50 or just below the 40-meter band, running ham gear on upper sideband or something. But those were the days. The 10-watt FM Pirates on the exciters and 500 watts. The only thing is, even then, at that low frequency, getting an antenna to radiate, unless you had a giant, like a trash can, with wire coiled up in a 102-inch whip, or you clandestinely ran some magnet wire down the telephone lines to get something on 550. That's fun. You probably run down the street with a transistor radio. I can hear it 3 blocks away. Tell all your friends. Then there was an S-meter at 0. All right, I went this long. Hang on. Let's go to...
with some old RCA tubes.
All right, I'm not going to fire up the transmitter, but just what's going on. There's 40 meters.
Suppressors. Replace the parasitic suppressors today. They're one of them. They were pretty toasty. The old ones.
The band is probably long.
And then they had lots of hours on them. They couldn't hardly.
Good signal on 7195 here in California.
But and the amplifier got a full rebuild last year, along with some modifications. But I really haven't put it on the air.
That's what I'm thinking. Foxman, that's what I'm thinking. We got a 5 call here.
I was just trying to get a little airtime on it this weekend, Mike.
Probably won't get a call, though.
I'm operating from my weekend QTH, so this is where I have my radio station. I don't get the opportunity to get up here too much anymore. So I was just wanting to get some hours on it. All right. Well, I think that ought to keep the anodes pretty warm there. Let me get off the key and put it down your way, Mike. 6 Yankee 5, Charlie Mike, Kilo Mike 5, Victor India. Over.
KM5VI, talking DX. And we can't even hear the station he's talking to, or at least I can. Houston, Texas, KM5VI, if I got the call right. So there you go.
Yeah, my QTH is in Texas. I'm about 100 miles north of Houston, Texas. Mike, over.
I'm looking to see what kind of antennas he's got. I'm talking to out of the country. All right, let's go on. That's the activity. That's the DX on the bottom of the band.
Echo Alpha 5, Juliet Zulu, CQDX, over.
And there is Paul, EA5JZ. He's in Spain. He's on a lot. And I have some local interference. He's on a lot. I've heard him before. He's got a big step IR. And I'm having some local interference. You can hear it. That's Paul in Spain. So the band is wide open tonight for a long haul. Here's the other station. And the station he's talking to is in Texas. Oh, I hear that noise? I don't know what that is. Sounds like an engine starting up.
Well, thank you for the call, Jason. And very nice to be here on Funky Lucas this morning. We're 5 and 9. Gibson. And lovely to hear.
There he is. That's on the Starduster. That's the Starduster. There's the 40-meter dipole. All right, good night, everybody. Get on the air when you can. The Old Tube Radio Network.